Hello everybody, this is Rocket and it is nearly Halloween, or maybe it is Halloween by the time I get around to editing this video. So today we are going to build something spooky. So I've chosen this lovely flat area around here with a little bit of water, which could be interesting, and I am just going to start off in Axiom just making some terrain for our spooky building to sit on. So I started off by raising up all the land to make some fairly steep hills that actually aren't that tall, and then I turned the whole thing into tuff, apart from some bits which I missed, and then put stone at the top and deep slate at the bottom. This created quite a nice gradient for the mountains. It is my first time using Axiom, so some things are a little strange. For example, leaves at the top of a hill, or on the side of a hill, or just anywhere. Some trees that are turned to stone, slightly strange. Trees inside a hill with various leaves missing. But I'll try and clean it all up. It's certainly far from perfect, but I think considering that the terrain is not really the main focus of this area, then it's not too bad. Don't know why the vines won't break. But now let's get on with the main part of this and the thing that I actually know how to do, and that is building. I really like this infinite reach. It's really impractical because it's almost impossible to aim correctly, and you end up with weird holes in the ground. But it's definitely fun. So let's get on with the house. Is it a house? I don't know. I haven't told you what it is. But now I might have told you what it is. Now let's get on with the maybe a house or maybe not a house. So this build has a fairly solid stone base, and that seems to have largely survived through the couple of 100 years that this build has existed for. It's got a weird pipe on the one side with some green goo coming out of it. I don't know where it's from. I don't know where it's meant to be coming from. I just thought it looked kind of spooky and weird. And then for some reason I started with building the door, which is weird, and then did the wireframing for the ground floor. Then I filled in the walls as you would normally do, and then knocked out a corner because I wanted part of it to be collapsing and supported by scaffolding. I didn't like the door in dark oak, so I changed it for spruce, and then I added probably far too many windows because it made the interior almost impossible to build, but I thought they looked good from the outside, and they kind of do. The windows on the inside are sort of based on old houses' main reception rooms windows, and the windows on the outside sort of look like castle windows, like the little slits that they'd fire out of, and then I put a dead plant there because why not? So the base and the first floor or ground floor of the building is complete, and hopefully by now you've guessed that I have done some sort of haunted mansion. However, now I am bored of doing exteriors, which is something I never thought I would say. So let's move on to the interior, which is also something I never thought I'd say, but apparently I'm doing an interior. Once I've done these little bits to this side, which I apparently forgot to do. Luckily, Axiom is a very useful tool for stuff like that. I wish you could use it to get vertical slabs, though it doesn't quite work. But most things are possible. So we started off with this weird sort of starry room. I tried to build a ghost in it, didn't go well. In the end, I just put some crying obsidian there. I thought it looked kind of spooky. Then built door frames on the inside. Replay mod going a little bit weird here. The stairs, as I mentioned before, the windows were made the interior almost impossible. The stairs were quite difficult to find a place to put. So you can see it took me multiple tries to find a sort of decent stair design, and it still half blocks one of the windows, but you can't notice it too much outside. Put some carpet in, but the replay mod decided it didn't want to show that. Little harpsichord, because every old house has a harpsichord. And then we moved on to the next floor, which I actually just did the wireframing for the whole build now, because it's always better to wireframe before you build anything. I just wanted to build the first floor first, because for some reason, I don't know why. It's got a lot of roofs and a lot of different layers, because it's only on a normal rectangular base, but I wanted to add some shape in there somewhere. And all the roofs are different, except they're symmetrical. But all the roofs on one side are different. Then I filled in the walls, same thing as the base, same thing as everyone does in every other build, and built some more of those slit windows on the side. And then some other windows in other places, largely copying from what I did on the base. And then a weird window in the middle, because I couldn't think of anything else to do. Tried to do other various things, tried to put a date on the house. None of that fitted, so I just settled for a bay window and a balcony. Then just detailing the front, as you do, using Axiom to make little holes, and just using leaves to make it look like it's being slowly reclaimed by the greenery. The roofs I thought were far too straight, and I put holes in them, and same with the walls. On the back, largely the same as the front, in fact almost exactly the same as the front, except I didn't do the weird window or the balcony on the back. I just replaced it with 2 bay windows, which you will see in a minute. So there's not much to talk about in this one, because it's exactly the same as the front. Maybe I'll just put some music behind this. Maybe I'll just talk. Maybe I'll let you just enjoy. Oh, here we go. Here's the interior. So I started off by building a library. I don't know what the replay mod's doing here. Enjoy this spruce log, because you can't see the dining room table, because for some reason it went into a wall. But here's the dining room table that you would have seen built if it had worked correctly. Then I put in the next floor. And now we wait for me to jump around a bit. And then I put in this sort of balcony thing and a massive wooden chandelier that kind of looks ugly, but I kind of like it at the same time. Then I built 2 walls, same on both sides, I only showed one side, with 2 little bedrooms, Axiom being very useful here to place the carpet in midair. And then I just covered the whole house in some cobwebs. I might have gone a little bit overboard, but every spooky house needs cobwebs. I'm not going to show you every room because there's a lot of them. And there we go, there's the whole house. And now we're moving on to a pumpkin patch, because of course you need a supply of pumpkins if you live in a haunted house. Took me a while to settle on what blocks to use for the path, but once I decided, it ended up looking good. Anyway, here is the final result of the house.